We packed up our truck and headed out. Half an hour earlier, my husband and I had decided to take a trip to southeastern Arizona and see what we could find in the Chiricahua Mountains and the Chiricahua National Monument. We had just learned that morning that the monument is a dark sky park. I printed out the details of the park and we walked out the door. As I was driving, Bill read the printout and we discovered that tonight was the night of the dark sky designation party. Because of its distance from the cities and towns, the night sky is clear in the Chiricahuas. The monument would become the 104th dark sky park in the world. A group of astronomers with their telescopes would meet there tonight to celebrate and view the night sky, and we could join in. We turned off of I-10 at Wilcox and headed east. The drive took us 33 miles from the flatland of the Wilcox Playa to the hilly curves of the foothills of the Dos Cabezas Mountains, and back down to the basin flatland. Once we reached the turn to start to climb into the Chiricahua Mountains, the desert creosote gave way to grassland and scrub oak. The higher you climb the mountains, you leave the vegetation of the high desert and ascend to ponderosa pine and dense forest at the 9,700-foot mountain peak. The monument also holds the forest of rocks, the rhyolithic tough stone spires and columns, the eroded remains of gray ash that formed when the mountain was created by volcano 27 million years ago. The Chiricahua Mountains are designated as a national monument. This designation was made by President Proclamation on April 18, 1924, by President Calvin Coolidge. Our particular destination on this day is to a parking lot. This parking lot was built in recent years by the U.S. Forest Service, and it serves as easy access to Bonita Canyon and the historic Faraway Ranch. This would be the site of the Star Party. We got to the lot early and parked in the perfect spot. Before dusk, we left our truck and walked a few yards to the site of the Faraway Ranch. The ranch house sits in the beautiful high desert terrain of Bonita Canyon, below the magnificent rock formations of the monument. Before the Faraway Ranch was constructed, Bonita Canyon was used as a lookout point to defend the United States borderlands against the Apaches. In 1885, the 10th Cavalry was ordered here, and for 2 years, over 100 troops and their horses and mules camped here. Faraway Ranch was built in 1887 by Swedish immigrants Neil and Emma Eriksson. The Erikssons' daughter Lillian turned the ranch into a guest ranch and ran it as such from the 1920s to the late 1970s. Concrete structures remain of what was once a sparkling swimming pool. There was a tennis court, a lush vegetable garden, and a large fruit orchard. The barn, corrals, and windmills are still standing, but weathered. The feeling of the ranch is far away distance from any neighbor or city civilization. It's a long 64 miles to Tombstone and 120 miles to Tucson. But there's true beauty here, no matter where you look. The turning leaves of the scrub oak, the granite boulders along the dry creek, or the intricately designed bark of the alligator juniper. It's quiet here. You can hear Coos deer out gracefully wandering through the brush to seek food in the evening light. You can hear the birds chirping, and another sound I love, the sound of the birds flying. I love to hear the whoosh of the wings as they rise into the sky, or the sound of slowing their flight as they come into land in a nearby cedar tree. We walk the ranch grounds as the sun sank down below the hills. Every minute, the landscape was changed from the sunlight fully illuminating the rocks on a craggy peak to lighting up the trees and surrounding valley to a soft orange hue. Subtly, a breeze swept through the canyon meadow, bending the white high desert grass in its wake. As quickly as it began, the breeze was gone, and the grass stood again, proudly waiting for the rain that would come during the monsoon months. The sun fell deeper into the horizon, leaving just the tops of the peaks in orange light. The canyon floor sat shaded and quiet, ready for night, ready for the next batch of desert animals to leave their cozy nest and search for food and maybe some mischief. As we walk along, I can't help but think about the people that have come and gone from here, the trepidation and excitement they must have felt, leaving their daily lives and city comforts to travel the long desert road to get to this guest ranch and the promise of the cool air and calm beauty of these mountains. How magical it would feel to wake up in the morning to the sun rising on the far end of the valley, to saddle up a ready horse, to ride round up, to help bring in over 200 head of cattle that once grazed here, or the chance to explore on horseback the other valleys and peaks the mountains had to offer. To travel up the mountain, hike Echo Canyon, or look out over Mouseside Point. Maybe the ranch guests sat on the porch of the old house waiting for nightfall and looking up at the rocky peaks, taking in the beauty of the spring sunset. When the sky was dark, maybe they would gaze at the same stars I came here to see. Our night was quickly approaching. We walked back through the corrals, past the windmill, back to the parking lot. My husband reparked the truck so that we could sit on the tailgate and comfortably watch the stars and listen to the astronomers speak. They spoke of the beauty of the monument, the importance of the dark sky designation, and told about the mysteries of the stars. We learned of the legends of the visible constellations and the powers and the rages of Zeus, the lust of Orion in his pursuit of the sisters Pleiades across the sky. We comfortably sat on unrolled sleeping bags and wrapped up in blankets to fend off the chill from the cool spring evening. As night rolled in, one by one the stars became more visible. The black silhouette of the nearby rocky peak still shone in a soft outline against the stars. On this night, there were no clouds between us and the stars to obstruct our view. I lay back on the sleeping bag and looked straight up. I am connected to the past, the philosophers, navigators, wonders, and ancient mythologists. I am surrounded by the Wild West and the memories of the ranchers and soldiers and pioneers that walk this land. I'm connected to the present, the adventures of today, being here in the back of my pickup and gazing up at the night sky, holding hands with my husband. I'm reminded of the future. As the subtle glow of a satellite passes through the sky, I know traveling outside the boundaries of our world is progressing. I have been a part of it all. I am a spiritual being experiencing life here on earth, as we all are. The past, present, and future spins around me. It creates me, it defines me, and it inspires me. Looking up at the darkness and the wonders of the galaxy, I feel grounded and centered. I feel peace in the knowing that these stars that make up the constellations Virgo and Hercules haven't changed. Ursa Major and Gemini will be visible again and again. These stars have been our guides for thousands of years and thousands of lifetimes. They shine from the heavens, directing us through the oceans and over the land. And no matter how far away you go, they will be here to guide you home.